Maisie was just released today, and we're gonna find out how strong she is. First things first, we gotta gem her all the way up to tier 30 of the Brawl Pass so we can unlock her on day 1. This is not a good way to spend your gems. In fact, this is one of the worst ways you can spend your gems, so do not do it ever. Okay, here we go. And that is one final tier, and now we get to unlock Maisie. Oh, this is so exciting. 18 chromatic brawlers. Pop, pop, pop. Is that popcorn or enemies succumbing? It's actually kind of funny because her hair looks like popcorn, but really, I don't feel like she actually she doesn't fire popcorn at people. That's Fang's thing, right? With Maisie unlocked, we are going to max her out and see how strong she is. Now, this is going to include both her gadgets and both her star powers because brawlers are now being released with both gadgets and both star power. So it's gonna be interesting to see exactly which one is going to be stronger. We're gonna grab that as well. And that, man, this is gonna be really cool. This is gonna be great. Okay, and we're gonna buy all of her gears too. Now I'm gonna be playing with both of her gadgets and both of her star powers to see exactly which one is the stronger one of the two. And after I've played her enough to know how strong she is, I'm going to rank her in 4 different categories: damage, utility, survivability, and how easy is she actually to learn. That way you know whether or not her Brawl Pass is worth buying. Now normally I would take her into Power League, but I decided to go into solo Showdown because I had a feeling her attack would take some getting used to. And I was right. Oh dude, I can't hit her. Her auto aim is so weird. Okay, okay. Boom. That was weird. See, I had to move in order for me to get over there. But I'm really low on HP. There's nothing I could do in that situation. That was weird and interesting. It's interesting. I'm hitting my shots more than I thought that I would. Oh, like that. It's me and this Colette. Oh, that was actually great. Honestly, I actually think she could be pretty good in Showdown because she's a very safe option. Anyone who jumps on her has to deal with her super and even a gadget that allows you to escape if you use it correctly. But I'm going to touch a little bit more on her gadget and star powers a little bit later on.
Holy smoke.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough. Yay, there we go. You know what? At least we got in there, though. And she's gonna run me into the smoke. There's not very much that I can do. That's okay. After Showdown, I jumped into some Volleyball. This likely will not be a permanent mode, but she actually has a lot of really great abilities for the mode, which is a lot of fun. Okay, if we can get in here.
You want a show? I'll give you one.
Blow them away. Dude! Yes! That's exactly what I wanted to do. But then I'm gonna die. He killed them all, though. Is it going to be enough? They should have enough time to respawn and get the ball. No, they were not able to. Okay, that was a good suggestion. Boom! That was actually epic. Gadget to get there, and then super to blow it away. Oh, that's cool. Don't. Yes! That is awesome. That is so good. Dude, that is so good. I'm gonna die. Dude, ball, yes. Oh, dude, see, any knockback actually prevents me from completing my super right there. So, like, you have to be careful about how you use your super because there's enough. It's like Frank. Anything can pretty much interrupt that super. Get away from it. Yes, that's so great, dude. Now, Maisie proved to be really good at controlling specific parts of the map in Volleyball, so I wanted to try out in Brawl Ball and Hot Zone to see if, like, that actually worked out in those modes as well. I did kill him. Okay, perfect. So her attacks are too slow for me to kick the ball and then kill an enemy with it. So that doesn't work, but the gadget actually worked. And use the super and blow everybody away. And then we get a goal. Okay, that was good. That was actually cool. Oh, see what I mean? I literally just gadgeted into it because I was trying to dash away from it. I mean, I know that all I have to do is just one more thing. All I have to do... Get away from me, Fang. Ah, man. All I have to do to use the gadget the way that I want to is just swipe my attack to the complete opposite direction that I'm moving and then use it. But it's just so weird. So, like, I used it right that time because I thought about it. Oh. Use it again. Let's get it in there. Okay, okay. I used it right twice though, so like I can get better at it. It's just weird. Let's just get in there. Kick it in. Oh, that was so good. Just barely got it in there. Okay, blast her away. There we go. Her super's really good on defense. It's really good. It's less useful on offense, but that's kind of to be expected. But for defense, very solid. Now this is where I started to get a pretty good sense of Maisie's abilities. Okay, that gadget does a lot of extra damage. Dude, like there's so little that Mortis can do. I just do a lot of damage to him, and I have my super as well. He jumps in. Oh, he wasn't even able to jump in. There we go. Look at that, 7 kills. Oh, but we got him. Oh, that's so good. I'm getting a little bit better with her attacks. Her attacks aren't awful, not as bad as I thought they were going to be. Oh, I did damage to him. Okay, it did work. Oh, I don't need that gadget, but that was overkill, but it worked. Now that I had experience with her mechanics and both her star powers and gadgets, it was time to test her in Power League, where I would face off against other maxed out brawlers. Good, dude, got him, yes. Dude, got him. Oh, that's perfect. But when am I gonna use my super? Oh! It worked! It saved me versus the Leon. That was great. I didn't use the gadget though. I didn't use the gadget. Dude, that's the end of it. Yeah, that was great. That was actually really good. Her super came in handy. Like, actually did. Didn't use her gadget a single time. Oh. Oh. That was actually... I just auto-aimed. And somehow I killed him, I guess. I don't know if Leon has supercharge or not. Got him. Very good. Now, Maisie's attack is weird. You really can't auto-aim at all because it is so slow to actually fire. If an enemy is more than 1 tile away, an auto-aimed attack will miss unless they are moving directly toward you or directly away from you. But honestly, that's not really that big of a deal. I've been playing the game for a long time. I know how to aim. What's more concerning is how hard it is to hit her shots against actually skilled players. At first, I thought that it wasn't too bad. I got pretty good at actually like predicting where people would move and firing accordingly. But the more that I played her, the more that I realized that hitting my shots had a lot less to do with my own skill and had a lot more to do with the skill of my opponents. Anyone who wasn't paying attention, I could usually hit pretty easily. But if people were paying attention just a little bit at the beginning of where I first fired it so that they could see if they needed to dodge left or right, that's all they had to do. Just look at it and then move, and it was so easy to dodge because of how long it takes for it to actually reach a quick speed. Now, with all that said, her attacks do deal a lot of damage, so if you do hit your shots, Maisie's attack is actually really good. It's just really hard to hit. Oh, dude, I just took out 2 people. That was worth it. That was good. I like that. Now, as for Maisie's super, it is theoretically really great against close range assassins, some close range brawlers, anybody that can jump on you and stuff like that. And you know what? Most of the time it actually is, but it's not as good as I thought it would be because of how delayed it is. After you activate her super, it takes a full second for it to actually blow up. In that time, Maisie can die, she can get stunned, an enemy can escape, a lot of things can happen within that 1 second, which means that I didn't get as much value out of it as I thought I would. You know, between brawlers who like can burst her down before she actually activates it with like Edgar or Bonnie, or some brawlers that can like interrupt you with Buzz's stun or El Primo's gadget or Sam's gadget, I actually found her super to be a lot less helpful than like I thought. Now with that said, the super was not completely useless though. I did get a lot of great value out of it. I just didn't get as much value as I thought I would, and honestly I probably should have played a lot more passively rather than focus on trying to use her super offensively. Now let's talk about Maisie's first gadget, which is called Disengage. When she activates this, she stuns an enemy that she's close to for half a second and then also dashes backwards. This ability is actually really good. You can use it for the stun, sometimes you just want to use it for the dash like in Brawl Ball, every now and then you use it for both of them. However, what I do not like about it is that it fires you in the opposite direction that you are moving. The number of times that this made things worse for me is a little embarrassing. Here we go. B's gonna use her attack. I'm gonna dash away from it. Haha, I finally used it that way. It feels too weird. Feels too weird. Now, I will say that if you're actually playing Maisie a lot, then this ability is not awkward to use. The biggest issue with it is the fact that the gadget is not consistent with other abilities that are also dashes. So like if you don't play Maisie for a while and then you go back to her and then you use her gadget, then it's really weird. And honestly, I think they should change it, but it's still a really good gadget. Now let's talk about her second gadget, which is Finish Them. Now this has two things. It increases the next attack's damage by 30% to the target's missing HP, and that is actually useful. I thought it would deal more damage or that it would be more useful than it actually turned out to be. What's more useful about this gadget is the fact that it instantly reloads 1 ammo. The problem is with this gadget though is that you can miss, which is very easy to do when you're playing Maisie, and it's not necessary versus like low HP brawlers. Like the number of times that I actually killed somebody because of the extra damage that would have come from the gadget, it didn't happen very often. There were a lot of times when I could have killed somebody if I had used the gadget, so obviously there's some skill at play there as for when to actually activate it. But another reason why I didn't find it super helpful is that Maisie actually has a pretty good reload speed, so I very rarely felt like I needed an extra ammo. But to be clear, it is a very strong ability. It's actually pretty balanced with her first gadget. If you could only get one, I'd probably get her second gadget unless Supercell made it so that her first gadget dashed in the direction that you're moving. But you really can't go wrong with either ability. Now her first star power adds 10% more damage at max range. When I first saw this, I actually thought it would not be that useful, but in long range fights, it actually comes in handy a lot more often than I thought it would. Now her second star power slows enemies for 2 seconds after they get hit by her super. And I found that this was not like crazy helpful. It's kind of similar to her first star power. Honestly, both of them are pretty equal and you want to use them in different types of situations. However, Maisie's pretty much only a good pick as a counter to close range assassins. So overall, this is probably the better option because in long range fights where she's actually going to be hitting people at maximum range, there's a lot of brawlers that can either dodge her shots or just outrange her. Now let's talk about where you would actually want to play Maisie. First of all, she is actually really great in Volleyball. I don't know if you play a lot of Volleyball, but she's great. She's kind of like Gale, not amazing elsewhere, but really good in Volleyball. Other than that though, you want to pick her pretty much only as like a counter to medium and short range brawlers that cannot disrupt her super. Well, I mean, even some that can disrupt her super, but also who can't do too much burst damage so that they can't kill you within that 1 second time frame, which honestly not a lot of brawlers actually can, but you know, a few do, like Leon can. But there are brawlers like Ash or Edgar, Ems, Rosa, or even Nita who really struggle to actually deal with her because she outranges them, and if they do get close, she can use her super to push them back. Other than that though, I don't see much of a reason to play her competitively, so if you're like you're a pro player, probably not going to be playing her too much. Most players though, you could definitely play her. She's actually pretty fun, but she does struggle against long range brawlers because of how easy it is for them to dodge her shots at a max range or just to stay out of her range entirely. She also struggles against throwers with no way to like break walls, very few ways to follow through with a kill, even if she does hit her super on them from the other side of the wall. And honestly, there are other medium to long range damage dealers like Maisie who consistently deal more damage and who have better answers to assassins and who don't have such difficulty hitting their shots. With all that being said, I don't think that she's a terrible brawler, and honestly, I would not be surprised if she got some buffs, but really, she's like a lot of fun. As for her damage score, I'm gonna give her a 7 out of 10. She can do a lot of damage, but it's hard to hit her shots. Thankfully though, she does have a decent reload speed, and her super is pretty hard to miss if somebody gets within close range of it. For utility, I'm giving her a 6 out of 10. She has a stun with her gadget, a slow with her star power, paired with her super obviously, and she can deal damage to brawlers on other sides of walls, which is pretty cool. Her dash gadget can be really fun to use, even if it is a little bit weird compared to like other dashes. And there's not too many brawlers that she's like really amazing against, but against those brawlers, she is very strong. So that's kind of like the definition of lower utility, right? For survivability, I'm giving her an 8 out of 10. She actually has quite a bit of health for her range, and she does have her super, which she can use as basically like a panic button for anyone who wants to jump on her, right? It's not amazing against brawlers who can interrupt it, but it is certainly useful enough. Like, you don't want to play her against Buzz because he'll just stun her on the way over there. But most other assassins she's pretty good against. For her ease of use score, I'm going to put her at a 3 out of 10. And this might not be fair because it's not like her attacks are actually really hard to aim right. It's just really easy for enemies to dodge them, which means that she misses her shots quite a bit. Now let's just be honest here. I could just be bad with her and I could do better with some more practice, but I'm also worried that as more players get more practice against Maisie, that she's going to get even worse over time. So is Maisie worth unlocking? If all you care about is having like a fun, cool looking brawler, Maisie, she fits that. She's awesome. She's definitely worth it. If all you care about is like meta brawlers and having the right brawlers and compositions and stuff like that, there are better options. There are a lot of better like chromatic options, honestly. In fact, like a lot of them are like, I'd just go with RT mostly, for real though. Is she worth buying the Brawl Pass for? Maybe not just for her, but the Brawl Pass is by far the best way for you to spend your gems on the game, just because of the resources and the bling. So like, don't buy the Brawl Pass for Maisie, but do get it for the resources and bling. And you know what? Maybe even Maisie after she gets some buffs. Now, these are just my personal opinions of Maisie, pretty much just after playing her for a few hours. And I'd really like to know what you guys think of her. So let me know in the comment section below. You can subscribe for my 100% honest update review video, which I'm gonna do. And you know, I've got some things that I want to talk about. It was actually a really good update, but there are a few things I want to cover. Either way, I'd appreciate you guys using code Kairos in the Brawl Stars shop. For now, this is KairosTime ticking by. We will see you in Brawl Stars.